OFM Sport.
Afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this pre-match press conference with South Africa coach Mandla Mashimbyi. Who would like to go first? Ladies first.
Thanks, Sips. Mandla, we've heard from a few of the players about their feelings during that India game. What were you doing during the chase, and how nervous were you?
I was pretty confident, to be honest with you, because I always believed that we just needed a partnership, and Kapi and Brits put in a good partnership to make sure that we crossed the line. And you know, because the game wasn't too far away from us, we just knew that we needed one big over, and then we're back in contention. So I was just waiting for that over, to be honest with you. I was pretty calm. If anything, I was probably more nervous against Pakistan.
And now, I suppose your destiny is still in your own hands. It's the word some of the players have been using. What do you think, if anything, needs to improve to play the next two teams, which I guess, no disrespect to them, but people would expect you to beat?
I think we just want to focus on how we want to play cricket, which is obviously this aggressive brand of cricket, which we haven't been doing in the past few games, and we're still obviously working towards that complete performance from a batting point of view, and hopefully maybe in the next two games we'll get the confidence needed for us to make sure that when we go through, we are where we need to be as a batting unit.
And just on Caroline de Lange from the Netherlands, she looks a little bit like Paul Adams. Have you had a look at just her bowling action? And it's quite unusual, But what have the girls been doing? I suppose they would have faced a bit of Paul Adams a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I guess after she's released the ball, the action doesn't matter anymore. That's why it's important that our players just watch the ball. People will come with different actions, but the most important thing is that you really watch the ball throughout, and then you can play it on merit. That's what's important for us. And if we do that, we give ourselves the best chance to do well against those type of bowlers.
And then just on your team selection, you probably don't want to give anything away, but we've seen a couple different combinations now. Can you speak a bit on what you think is the best combination, even if you don't want to mention names, and just kind of how you have to strategize for these next two games?
No, I don't think it's got nothing to do with combinations at the moment now. It's just a little bit of belief that we need to carry across with us, and then just make sure that we play to the best of our ability as a team and as a batting unit, and also bowling and fielding as well. But I think batting has been a little bit scratchy, but I'm pretty confident that we'll play that complete match with the bat as well.
Tazmin Brits was out of the first two games and then put in pretty much a match-winning performance along with Kapi in the third. What work has she done, and just how did she have to change anything? How did she change anything?
Yeah, she's been working for the past few months now since New Zealand. There's a couple of things that we picked up that we felt it's going to be essential for her to really push her batting strike rates and average in T20 cricket. So we just put in some work with regards to that, and it paid dividends now in this game. And still, you're sitting there, you're going, there's more that she can actually do. But most of the time, it's actually just mental things that we need to get over. The day our players realize that they need to conquer themselves first for them to conquer the world. And that's what it's about. It's just putting in the work, and you die within yourself every day, and make sure that you improve all the time.
And then just in terms of the Dutch team, and you obviously wouldn't have played them before. Is there a surprise factor? Is there what are you wary of, if anything?
The only surprise that I would be wary of is the complacency we bring as a team to this match. If we are complacent, then I'll be really surprised, because every game is important for us now. So we cannot, drop our energy, our intensity. We need to make sure that we bring the right intensity for us to actually be in a position to dominate the game.
Coach, that game against India, we all know how much Marizan has done for this team, and a bigger game, we all know how much she wants to win a World Cup for the side. When you see her play that kind of innings at that kind of a strike rate and confidence, how much do you see her spirits are where it is, where her heart is, when you see her do that against a top side?
Yeah, the reality of it all is that Marizanne has been batting well, bowling well. And all I kept telling her was that she's batting well. She mustn't worry about, the fact that she didn't put in a performance that she would have liked. But at the end of the day, when you got a game like India and then you want your senior players to put their hands up, and she did it in an exceptional way. It's the best I've seen her bat in a long time. So it was really nice to see her going through her paces in that manner and make sure that she takes the bull by the horns and take us home.
We have seen there are no easy games in this World Cup. All teams are coming, all guns blazing. Have you seen any of the Netherlands games, and what do you make? What are their strengths, you feel?
Yeah, I think the fact that they're in the World Cup, it means that there's something about them, and they're capable of beating any team. But our focus is not on them, really. Our focus is on how we actually show up on the day. And if we look after our processes, we should be in a good spot as a team.
A word on conditions. You mentioned that it was really cold in Manchester. You're here today after a practice session. What do you think the conditions, what do you make of the pitch? Have you got a chance to look at it?
Oh, I did have a look at it, but I would be lying if I tell you how it's going to play. I mean, there's a lot of heat around as well, so we don't know how quickly it's going to dry up. So we'll just obviously assess it when we get here tomorrow and make sure that we adopt accordingly and just play how it requires us to play.
Last one, the points table is turning out to be a tricky one. It's still not decided what's going to happen. I think it has the potential to go on the last day of the group stage. Important 2 points.
Yeah, points are always, World Cup points can never take them for granted. They're always a blessing for any team. So we always play for those 2 points, and we just have to make sure that we show up.
Hi, Mandla. Have there been any conversations around net run rate in the team?
What?
Net run rate.
Yeah, we're third at the moment. We just have to keep winning. That's what we're focusing on. I think the other stuff will just look after themselves as time goes. I know we've got 2 games. I can tell you now as a coach, I've obviously did my research around that and what we need to do. So we need to just make sure that we create a good platform to put ourselves in a position where we can say, okay, so this is what we're chasing, and this is how we're going to chase it. But that's not our prime focus. Our prime focus is to make sure that we get a W.
This is your second ICC event, so as coach, what are some of the lessons that you took from the first into this one?
I think just the camaraderie with the team and that fighting spirit. I think we've seen it against Pakistan, we've seen it against India. It is really nice to see, but I think we want to get to a point where we play the game the way we want to, and I hope these 2 games will give us an opportunity to do that.
What does your perfect match look like when you are thinking about, I know obviously everybody wants the 3 disciplines to be up to scratch, but for you, what would the perfect match look like at the end of tomorrow?
I think perfection in this sense, it's just you executing to your plans as a bowler, and obviously executing your processes are better, and make sure that the energy is always high in the field, and we take all our catches. That's probably the perfect match for me.
Awesome. Thank you very much.